Adam wants to know how to lose fat without losing muscle. Well, that's always the question, isn't it? I finally got to cleaning and pressing 2x32 kilogram kettlebells for 5, but I'm about 30 pounds overweight, and I don't want to lose my pressing strength to slim down. Dan, can you help this gentleman find the Holy Grail?
Well, it's Art Devaney, don't get fat in the first place. That's very unpopular. And if you do, Adam, you are, this is not me ripping on you, but you are the sum of the habits that brought you to this question this morning. Your habits for the last however 8 years you are brought you to this question this morning. So what you need to do is you need to look at certain areas of your life. And I'm going to say probably look in the kitchen, and you're going to say, well, I don't cook or whatever. And I'm going to say, well, there you go. You're going to say, well, I've really changed my fast food. I'm just, Adam, I'm riffing. I'm not saying you as in you, Adam. You've changed your fast food choices recently from, the unhealthy fast food place to the healthier fast food place. Fat loss happens in the kitchen. You can eat. There's nothing new to it. I use Easy Strength for fat loss. Patrick, you use fasting, don't you, in your programs?
Of course, yeah.
Intermittent fasting.
Frequently enough, yeah, and strategic meal replacements, right?
Strategic meal replacement, yeah. Really, it's all right there. You got 1,000 resources on Pat's site. You've got my sites. Easy Strength for fat loss is very popular. You stay. It's really, at my last weightlifting meet, I had dropped a whole bunch of weight, and I was literally stronger on the platform than I'd been in about 2 years.
Yeah,
because you can tell, because in a weightlifting meet you lift more weights. I think we've beat this to death a little bit, but listen, it's going to be intermittent fasting. I would suggest drinking massive amounts of coffee or some kind of caffeinated beverage. Lift weights, put load on, and go for a walk after. If you're not eating kimchi or sauerkraut or fermented food, you should. Veggies should be the lead at every meal. You probably can't push enough protein down your throat.
Yeah, those are great.
Sleeping.
Great pieces of advice. I will just add one more thing, and that is when you're in a position like this and you're not a complete beginner anymore, because as you know, with a beginner, all sorts of magic happens. You really can lose fat and shape your muscle up at the same time, but that's just not what's going to happen long-term as you get more experience. You have to have the right expectations, right? And as you get more experience, you have to be willing to kind of let certain things fall back a little bit if you want to push ahead significantly in other areas. And that's okay, right? That's okay. If you have 30 pounds of weight to lose and you want to be aggressive and efficient with that, you should try to maintain as much strength and muscle as you can, but also accept that you might drop a little bit. And that's okay, because then once you reach your fat loss goal, you can switch gears again and then really push your strength and muscle back up while you maintain your fat loss. The thing that stops people is that they don't accept that. They don't accept that. And as soon as they start losing their strength, they'll kind of abandon ship, and then they'll just go in circles forever and ever and ever, because they aren't okay with letting a few things fall back a little bit. I'm not saying that you have to drop down to like 16 kilograms, but hey, maybe you slide back to 28s for a little bit because your calories are lower and you're just losing weight. And that's just the nature of weight loss. That's fine, because once you reach that weight loss goal, that strength is going to come back pretty quick once you switch focus. So to me, it's just one of managing compromise, as you always say, Dan, having the right expectations and not getting into this perpetual cycle of doom, because everyone tries to hold on to sort of everything all at once. And that's just not how life works. And once you have that mindset in place, then yes, continue to use progressive resistance, try to lift as heavy as you can, and keep cramming as much protein down your throat as possible. That's going to help you maintain as much strength as possible.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, managing compromises. Well, first off, hats off. Vinny Tanner is in the house today. Vinny is a very good young power lifter. One of the first people to do Mass Made Simple. He was part of the experiment, and now he's a fine young power lifter on Easy Strength. So Vinny, the thing is, can I just real quick go into this? Maybe this should be a whole topic for us one time, Patrick. Managing options versus managing compromises. So real quick, I'm gonna teacher Dan's going to talk for like a minute. Okay, so hold on.
Do it.
Managing options is this: to be a discus thrower, there's 3 different techniques. There's the best one, Utah State technique. There's a linear technique, good, and there's the East German technique, good if you're over 2 meters tall and fully state funded. How many options do you have? 3. Pick one. How do you get strong in the weight room? Well, Olympic lift, power lift, strongman, Highland game, a combination of those. Pick one. So I'm going to do the Utah State technique, and I'm going to be an Olympic lifter. That was my choice. I was the MVP for my team, nationally ranked thrower, international level. This is the technique I did. That's options, okay? For fat loss, it's options. You've got to do something that restricts calories, and you got to do some inefficient exercise. There are your options. I don't care. Pick one. It can be low carb. It can be high carb. It can be vegetarian. It can be vegan. It can be paleo. It can be carnivore. It can be anything. Pick it and do it. Okay. Managing compromises is what, and I like the fact that Pat built that up. Managing compromises is different. That means if I want to lift as a 90 kilo lifter, 198, that means I'm going to have to lose a tremendous amount of weight to get into a contest ready. But it also means that my strength level is going to be down because I'm going to be tapped out for weeks, and I'm going to lose some muscle to do that.
Yeah.
But I want to lift at 90. So managing compromises but what I'm trying to tell you to do is, instead of managing compromises, you're worried about your press going down when you're losing weight. I'm just saying, lose weight, lose weight. Worry about your press while keeping your weight down. Is that basically okay?
I think it's okay to me.
Okay.
Certainly okay to me. Is it okay for you, gentle listeners? You can always let us know. Let's move on to the next question. Thank you, Adam, for that good question, by the way.
Very good.